Welcome back to the deep dive. We are back in the thick of it with the Jumping Mystic.
It is good to be back.
Settling in for another session, another go at untangling the wires of the human experience.
And the wires are definitely looking a little less tangled today, I think.
Well, let's put that to the test. I have to check in since we last spoke.
Go for it.
Are you still walking into walls inside your own ant nest? Or have you, finally found that neon sign in the tunnels we talked about?
I am making progress. I've stopped walking face first into the walls, at least.
Okay.
Now I'm just sort of grazing them. It's less painful, more tactile. Learning the layout by bumping into the furniture in the dark.
That sounds like progress. You're mapping the territory by contact. That's a strategy.
It is, but let me turn the tables on you.
Uh-oh.
How is your gamma load? Have you managed to turn that morning stress into, like, the Hulk-style gamma fuel we discussed? Or did you just spill your coffee again?
Look, if spilling coffee was a superpower, I would be leading the Avengers. I mean, Thanos level powerful. No. But honestly, I have been thinking about that concept a lot. It's a real shift in perspective, viewing the stress as fuel rather than just friction.
It changes things.
It does. It changes the whole texture of the morning commute. And that actually brings me to something I've been chewing on about the Sheldon archetype.
Okay.
I've been wondering if my own genius is just, I don't know, an unusually high-definition data intake for a completely useless trivia?
Hey, high-definition data intake is a valid cognitive asset. It just depends on where you point the lens.
Well, today we are going to find out exactly where to point that lens. Because we are done with the preamble. We are officially kicking off the main event.
Yes, we are.
This is ARC 003, Discover Your Genius.
This is the big one. We spent the last deep dive talking about the philosophy, the why, the how behind all this hidden genius stuff.
Right.
Today, we open the manual, we're looking at the ArcMaster overview, and then we're going to drill all the way down into Section 1, Foundational Discovery.
So the mission for today is to move from the abstract to the concrete. We want to figure out how to uncover this thing that has apparently lived inside us the whole time.
Yeah.
And without it feeling like some vague self-help platitude. We want the nuts and bolts.
Right. And crucially, how do we dissolve the self-doubt that keeps us from even seeing it? Because the source material is very blunt about this.
What's the main takeaway?
I think this is the most important sentence in the whole intro. The goal isn't to become a genius, it's to admit you already are one.
That's a heavy distinction. It changes the whole game.
Completely.
You aren't building something new, you're just excavating something old.
Mm.
So let's unpack this arc. Discover Your Genius, or DYG as the text calls it. First off, just looking at the table of contents here, the scope is massive. This is a 41-jump journey.
It is extensive, and that length is intentional. You don't rewrite a lifetime of self-deprecation in a weekend.
Right, you can't just flip a switch and say, oh, I'm brilliant now.
No. It takes repetition to overwrite the old scripts.
And the core intention here, and this goes right back to our friends from the show Young Sheldon, is that everyone has a thumbprint of genius.
Right.
But I think we really need to clarify this analogy because if you haven't seen the show, you might miss the nuance. It's not just a pop culture reference, it's the central metaphor for the problem.
Let's break it down. So you have the Sheldon-Cooper model. That is the intellect map.
Okay.
High IQ, theoretical physics, blackboard math, memorizing train schedules. Society looks at that and instantly says, that is genius. It's the gold standard.
Right, it's what we're trained to look for in schools. If you aren't Sheldon, if you aren't getting the A+ in AP calculus, you aren't a genius, you're just
nice.
Or hardworking. Precisely. That is the intellect map. But then look at his siblings, Missy and Georgie.
Yeah.
If you judge them by that Sheldon map, they're failures. They are average or slow or just, regular kids.
But the source material points out, and I love this observation because it redeems so many of us, Missy has this innate physical genius.
She picks up a baseball, and she doesn't do the calculus of wind resistance on a whiteboard. Her body just is the math. She knows where the ball is going before she throws it.
Exactly. It's kinesthetic intelligence at an elite level. And Georgie. He has sensory and mechanical genius. He can hear a tire leak and know the pressure variance just by the pitch of the hiss.
Which is an insane skill.
It is. It's high-level auditory processing and pattern recognition. But here is the tragedy, and this is exactly what this arc is trying to solve.
What is it?
The tragedy isn't that they lack genius. It's that they are undernaming it.
Undernaming. That concept really stuck with me. It's a linguistic failure, not a talent failure.
Yes. They don't call it genius. They call it being handy or being athletic or having street smarts.
Or having a good ear.
Right, because it doesn't look like Sheldon doing algebra. They assume it doesn't count. They put it in the hobby box.
So the goal of this arc is basically to help you stop trying to be a second-rate Sheldon and find out if you're actually a first-rate Georgie.
Or a Missy. Or something else entirely. It's about finding your specific tunnel in the ant nest.
Your tunnel.
It's about realizing that the thing you do naturally is actually a high-performance cognitive function, even if it doesn't involve a calculator.
Okay, so to help us see where this is going, let's give everyone the roadmap. This arc is broken down into 6 sections. It's a progression, right?
Very much so.
It's not just a grab bag of tips, there's a narrative structure here. Can you walk us through the big picture before we zoom in?
Sure. It's designed like a hero's journey for your self-esteem. We start with section 1, foundational discovery. That's what we're covering in detail today.
The bedrock.
The bedrock.
Which I know people tend to gloss over because they want the cool stuff, the flashy titles. But stick with us because you can't build the roof before the foundation.
Exactly. After that, section 2 is gift-specific jumps. That's where you start naming the tunnels. You get specific titles like the emotional cartographer or the language listener.
I can't wait to get to those. Emotional cartographer sounds infinitely better than overly sensitive person.
Exactly. And it's more accurate.
So what's after that?
Section 3 is integration. This is where you weave those gifts together so they aren't just isolated party tricks. Section 4 is external expression.
Taking it out of your head and into the world.
Yes. Section 5 scales up to collective and archetypal levels, big picture stuff.
And then the finale.
Section 6 is the crown jump, total synthesis. The goal, according to the sources, is that by the end of this, genius isn't a pursuit, it's an embodied, everyday reality.
You aren't trying to be a genius, you're just living in your natural design.
That's it. I like that definition of success.
Yeah.
It's not about a trophy, it's about a state of being where you aren't fighting yourself.
It's flow state as a lifestyle.
Okay, let's dive into the meat of today's session. Section 1, foundational discovery. Why do we start here? What's the mission of this section? The mission is to recognize what is already natural. And that sounds easy, but it brings us to the biggest obstacle mentioned in the text. The normality paradox.
The normality paradox. Okay, this is the idea that our gifts feel boring to us, right?
Correct. And it's the primary reason most people die without knowing their genius. Think about a fish. If you asked a fish to describe swimming, it wouldn't call it a skill.
No.
It wouldn't say, I have mastered the hydrodynamics of aquatic propulsion. It would just call it getting around. It's so natural, it's invisible.
Right. It's just what I do.
And if you have a genius for pattern recognition, you assume everyone sees the patterns. So when they don't, you don't think, wow, I have a special gift.
No, you think, why is everyone else being so slow? Why are they missing this obvious thing?
Yes. Or you think, this is too easy for me, so it can't be valuable.
Right.
That's a huge trap equating value with struggle.
If I'm not suffering, I'm not working.
That is the trap. We are conditioned to think work only counts if we're sweating. Section 1 is designed to break that association. It's about trusting that quiet certainty. It's about making decisions faster because you stop second-guessing your natural wiring.
So the source material gives us a specific jump list for Section 1. There are 5 jumps here. I want to walk through these because they paint a really clear picture of what foundational discovery actually looks like.
Let's do it.
Jump number 1 is called the moment of knowing. And the text classifies this as a doppelganger jump. Now, for the uninitiated, can we clarify what that actually means?
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's not about hallucinating or seeing ghosts or anything.
But to know.
In the system, a doppelganger jump is a specific type of visualization tool. You are meeting a version of yourself, a mental construct that represents a specific state of being.
Okay.
In this case, you are meeting the version of you who already knows their genius.
So it's like consulting a future version of yourself who has it all figured out.
Or a parallel version. It sounds simple, but the benefit listed here is identity calibration.
Identity calibration.
Think about how much energy we waste searching outside ourselves. Maybe I should take this class. Maybe I should try this career. Maybe I'm broken.
Right.
This jump stops the external search. It forces you to recognize that the genius exists right now in your current timeline. It just needs to be acknowledged.
It's like stopping the car to check the GPS instead of just driving in circles hoping you find the highway by accident.
Exactly. It creates a reference point. You visualize this version of yourself who isn't confused, who stands differently.
Breathes differently.
Yes, and you realize, Oh, that's what I look like when I'm confident. That feels familiar. It's about resonance.
Okay, moving to jump number 2. This title is fantastic. The Keeper of Obvious Miracles.
Obvious miracles. I love that phrasing. It captures the paradox perfectly.
This one is classified as an archetypal field jump. So we're not meeting a version of me here, right?
Yeah.
How is this different?
Good catch. This is important. A doppelganger is a version of you. An archetypal jump isn't about you specifically. It's about connecting to a root pattern.
A universal force.
A universal force or an energy field. You are stepping into a field of subtle awareness. It's less about who am I and more about what am I tapping into.
What does that mean in practice? Give me a real-world example of that.
It means valuing the ordinary. This jump is designed to fight the normality paradox directly. It helps you look at those things you do every day.
Like what?
The way you intuitively organize a spreadsheet so it's readable, or the way you can calm down a screaming toddler in 10 seconds in the grocery store.
Things we usually just dismiss as chores or just dealing with it.
Exactly. You think, I'm just dealing with the kid. But the Keeper of Obvious Miracles perspective says, no, that is a miracle of emotional regulation and empathy.
Wow.
It is just obvious to you because you're the one doing it.
It's retraining your eyes to see the magic in the mundane.
It's realizing that what is mundane to you is magic to someone who can't do it.
Right.
To the person who can't organize that spreadsheet, you are a wizard. To the parent who can't calm that child, you are a miracle worker.
That leads perfectly into jump number 3, the one who always knew. This brings us back to a doppelganger jump.
This one is emotional. This one's heavy. This is meeting the self who honored their gift even when no one else did.
Oof. That hits home. I think everyone has that little voice they suppressed because a teacher or a parent said, that's not a real job.
Or stop daydreaming. Or you're too loud. Or you ask too many questions.
Why are you so sensitive?
Exactly. Why do you have to take everything apart? This jump is about validating that quiet certainty. It's about going back mentally and telling that part of yourself, your inner child, your teenage self, you were right. They were wrong.
So it dissolves the self-doubt that built up over years.
It does. The doubt from being told to follow the Sheldon map. You can't build a future of genius if your past is full of shame about who you are. You have to clear the rubble.
Okay, let's look at jump number 4, the pattern decoder.
Now, be careful here. When we hear pattern, we usually think math. We think a beautiful mind, floating numbers, complex algorithms.
Right, we think logic, coding, Silicon Valley stuff.
But the source is much broader than that. This isn't just about numbers. This applies to social patterns, emotional patterns, logistical patterns.
Like knowing who is actually in charge in a meeting, regardless of the org chart.
Precisely. Or seeing systems where others just see noise. Imagine someone who looks at a chaotic commercial kitchen during a dinner rush.
Pure panic.
Everyone else sees panic. This person instantly sees the flow. If we just move this prep table here, the vegetables get to the line 3 seconds faster. That is a pattern decoder.
So this jump introduces you to the version of yourself who sees structure in chaos.
Yes. It's about trusting your ability to connect the dots, even if you can't explain the math behind it yet. It's about intuition validation.
It's the matrix code moment, but for whatever your specific thing is.
Yes. Seeing the code behind the reality.
And finally, jump number 5, the humble frequency tuner.
This is my favorite one in this section. I think this is the most undervalued skill in the modern world.
Why is it your favorite?
Because it is the most invisible form of genius. This is the doppelganger who regulates environments or people just by being there.
This connects back to that gamma load concept, doesn't it? The idea of processing energy.
It does. Think about the person who walks into a tense room, a family argument, a crisis at work. They don't say anything profound.
They don't take charge.
No, they don't give a big speech, but suddenly everyone calms down. The temperature drops 10 degrees, shoulders drop, breathing slows.
The stabilizer.
The stabilizer, that is frequency tuning. It is a massive energetic gift. But because it's silent and because it's humble, the person doing it usually gets zero credit.
They probably just think, wow, everyone finally stopped yelling, lucky break.
Right, they think the situation resolved itself. This jump is about owning that power. It's about recognizing that you are the thermostat, you are changing the atmosphere.
That is a form of genius, just as potent as solving a physics equation.
Maybe more so in a crisis. You are literally modulating the collective nervous system of the room.
So when you look at these 5 jumps together, the moment of knowing, the keeper of obvious miracles, the one who always knew, the pattern decoder, and the humble frequency tuner, what's the cumulative effect?
The combined effect is that you stop apologizing for your nature.
That's a powerful place to be.
You stop dismissing your strengths as ordinary. You start to see that your boring traits are actually the foundation of your power. You can't build a castle, which comes later, if you don't trust the bedrock.
Section 1 is about saying, okay, this is who I am, and that's not a mistake, it's a design.
It is. It effectively stops the bleeding of self-doubt. And it prepares you for the fun part.
Which is?
Because once you accept that you have genius, you are finally ready to give it a name.
Which is exactly where we are going next.
It is.
Section 1 is the bedrock. You can't express your genius until you stop dismissing it. But next time, on our next deep dive, we are moving into Section 2. Gift-specific jumps.
And this is where the specificity gets really exciting. We are going to stop talking in generalities and start looking at specific archetypes. The language listener, the emotional cartographer.
The improvisational architect.
Yes.
I love that one. That sounds like someone who builds a plane while flying it, which I feel like I do every Monday morning.
Which is a genius many people have.
Yeah.
The point is, Section 2 is where you'll start naming your specific tunnels in the ant nest. We give you the vocabulary to explain your magic.
But before we wrap up today, I want to leave the listener with something to chew on.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about the normality paradox.
We have. And here is the thought I want you to sit with.
Yeah.
If you are struggling to find your genius, stop looking for what makes you feel special.
Stop looking for the applause.
Did
That
I-
feels counterintuitive. What should they look for instead?
Look for the thing that annoys you when other people can't do it.
Oh, that's interesting. Follow the irritation.
Seriously. That frustration, that feeling of, why is this so hard for you? It's so obvious. That frustration is the echo of your genius. It's the sign that your ant nest has a tunnel that theirs doesn't. You are frustrated because you are projecting your capability onto them.
So the annoyance is actually a signal.
It's the brightest signal you have.
Yeah.
Your boring trait, the one you take for granted, is actually your superpower in disguise. It's the gamma fuel you were born to burn.
Don't ignore the frustration, decode it.
Decode it.
I love that. Follow the frustration to find the genius. It completely flips the script on anger.
It does.
All right. If you want to keep following this map and you don't want to miss the breakdown of those specific gifts in Section 2, because trust me, you want to find out if you're an emotional cartographer, make sure you are subscribed. Go to the House of Mystics YouTube channel.
Do it. That is where the new episodes, the specific jumps, and the music all live. You don't want to miss the toolkit.
Absolutely. Subscribe, stay tuned, and until next time, keep looking for those obvious miracles.